What's up, YouTube? Alright, so I was just at the gas station, and this guy walked up, looked at my truck, and he was liking it. And we started talking about nitrous, and he was like, "Whoa, you know, that stuff will blow up your motor," you know, is what he's been told. So I figured, you know what, let's make a video about that and try to educate some people on it a little better. You know, nitrous has a bad rap about people thinking, you know, it'll blow up your motor. That's not the case. What it is that's people doing dumb stuff, not following the rules, and they end up blowing up their engine. And the same thing applies to anybody that, you know, does a supercharger or turbo or whatever. You know, if you don't follow the rules and you're not smart about it, you're gonna hurt your engine. So, is nitrous safe? Hell yes, nitrous is safe. What do you need for it to be safe? Okay, so 5.7 Hemi guys, V8 guys, you know, any engine, it really don't matter what it is, the same rules apply. Okay. Stock engine, especially V8s, usually 100 horsepower to 150 horsepower is safe for your stock engine. Anybody that wants to go 100 horsepower or more, I recommend getting a custom tune and a wideband gauge. Definitely worth the investment. You get a lot more out of the whole deal and better performance with a custom tune. If you're under 100 horsepower, I've done it many times, you will be fine on your stock tune. Just run quality gas. And colder spark plugs, you know, can benefit you there as well. So what do we need to be safe to run, say, 100 horsepower or 125 or 150? All right. First thing, quality fuel. You will need to run premium fuel, you know, all the time if you're going to use your nitrous. Next thing, you need colder spark plugs. Usually you need a step or 2 steps colder spark plugs. You know, copper core, usually it's the cheap spark plugs, works best for nitrous. You know, you don't want anything with the extra tips or, you know, platinum, all that craziness. You want a basic spark plug that's, you know, a step or 2 colder. That's it. Nothing fancy. And then outside of that, you know, when you use nitrous, you know, never use nitrous unless you're full throttle. Wide open throttle before you activate your nitrous system. Okay? Where you see those videos where people, you know, they blow up their intake or they have a backfire or whatnot, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, what that is they're at idle and they accidentally engage the nitrous system. And it pulls up in the intake and it ignites and it creates a backfire. Now, did they blow up their engine? No. Usually what happens is, you know, it might blow the air filter off, or worst case, it, you know, blows the intake up. So you're out a few $100s for an intake. But that's what happens when you're not following the rules and you're not being smart. Most of these systems, they all come with a safe way to activate your nitrous, whether it be wide open throttle switch, window switch. There's so many ways. I can talk for days about how to turn your system on. I have a basic throttle position or a wide open throttle switch that I have mounted down at my gas pedal. And when it goes full throttle, the pedal, you know, presses the switch and the system comes on. So it never comes on unless I have the pedal to the floor. So as long as you follow those rules, you get quality fuel, premium fuel, you do the colder spark plugs, never use it unless you're wide open throttle, and you stay within the limitations of your engine, you will be fine. There's nothing to worry about. It's perfectly safe, it works, it's reliable. A lot of people ask, how is it on your engine overall? Well, okay, my truck, Frostbite, has 128,000 miles on it right now. I've went through numerous drive this truck about 80 miles a day, 5 days a week to work and back. All right, I put a ton of miles on this truck. It's my daily driver. It tows my pontoon boat to the lake. You know, it does a lot. It's got sheetrock in the bed right now for the house. It goes to the drag strip on the weekends, you know, a dozen times out of the year. It's perfectly safe, guys. There's nothing to worry about. If you follow the rules, you will have nothing to worry about. And like I said, the same rules apply to the guys that go supercharger, okay? There's nothing different. There's steps you have to take for every modification you do on your vehicle. All right, so let's talk about pros and cons. Pro, nitrous, for the money, you cannot beat it. All right, so let's say for 100 horsepower, you can spend, you know, I have a plate kit on this truck, and I have about $1,000 for the system. Okay, if you don't go with a plate kit, you can do a nozzle kit for about half the price. I went with the plate kit because, you know, it's clean looking, it looks good under the hood, and to me it just looks better. And I think it performs a little better than a nozzle kit, but usually 150 shot or less. You can go either way, not really going to matter. But you can get a ton of horsepower for less than $1,000. You can't get that horsepower, you know, going supercharged for that kind of money. You're going to spend $6,000 to $8,000 on a supercharger kit at least to get that kind of number, to get those kind of horsepower numbers. So that's the pros. It's cheap. It makes a ton of power. It works. It's safe. Now the cons of it. Okay, it runs out. Okay, the bottle, you know, lasts so long. You might get 5 or 6 good passes out of a bottle, and then you got to refill it. So that sucks. It's not there all the time like a supercharger. Eventually you will run out and you'll have to get it filled up. That can be the other problem. You know, locating nitrous can be hard in itself. Finding a place that has nitrous that can refill it for you. Before you go buy a kit, make sure you can buy nitrous somewhere. Normally it's about $5 a pound. So depending on how big a bottle you go with, you know, $5 a pound, you know, per bottle size, there's your, you know, number to fill it up. 50, 60 bucks, give or take. I have a video on YouTube also about refilling your own bottle at home. Because of the hassle of locating it, and mainly, you know, I just don't have the time to go find nitrous or go to a place to get it filled up. You know, I work a lot, don't have that time. So if you go to like a welding gas supply shop or something where they refill like torch bottles or welding, you know, bottles or whatnot, normally them guys, those stores will have nitrous. So what I do is I buy a mothered bottle that has 65 pounds of nitrous in it, and it's about $165. So that means I spend about $2.50 a pound for nitrous. It's about half the price. Plus, I can refill it whenever I want. I always have it. I don't have to chase it down. That's the biggest con of nitrous, more than anything, is the fact of needing to get your bottle filled up and then having the time to go get it filled up. If you get the station yourself and do it at home, it's well worth the time and the investment. Not to mention you save a ton of money in the long run doing it yourself because you're getting it half the price. Plus, if you find some people that have nitrous, you can sell it to them for $5 a pound and make some money off of it. And in the long run, you may not spend anything for your nitrous. Because like I said, there's not a lot of places that will fill up nitrous. So if, you know, 3 or 4 people know you have it, you know, they're going to knock on your door for it. So why not sell them some nitrous and make some money? So that's the biggest con with nitrous is getting it filled up. But, you know, if you go about it and do it at home yourself, you know, that con can go away, honestly, because, you know, now you have it available to you whenever you want it. So yes, it's safe, it's fun, it works. You know, if you don't have $8,000 for a supercharger, do it. You won't regret it. Performance-wise, a lot of people ask me, what can I expect out of, say, 100 shot of nitrous? All right. Well, in my experience on the 8 or 9 cars I've had it on, 100 shot usually always gave me about a second off my quarter mile time. Sometimes more. I've seen as much as 1.3 for 100 shot. It depends on traction a lot. Nitrous, it comes on quick, and it can bang the tires off if the track's not good that night. So, but you can expect at least a whole second, and maybe sometimes more on 100 shot. And normally, I've seen anywhere from 8 to 10 miles per hour gain in the quarter mile with 100 shot. So it definitely works, no questions. It works well, and for the money you spend on it, you cannot beat it for that kind of power adder and performance you're going to get at the racetrack. The biggest thing, guys, like I said, follow the rules. Don't listen to your buddy that doesn't know probably anything about anything with nitrous unless he has it. Don't listen to these guys on the internet. Do your homework, follow the rules, read the instructions, and you'll be fine. Nitrous gets a bad rap. It's very easy to get cocky with nitrous and hurt your engine. And the reason I say that is here's nitrous jets, okay? Each one of them jets is a different horsepower level. Okay, like I said, my system can run up to 400 horsepower through this plate. So in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, I can change out the jets and go from 100 horsepower to 400, just like that. It's much harder to do that with a supercharger. You're gonna have to change pulleys, belts, tunes, all that kind of stuff. Nitrous you can get carried away with very easily, and if you don't hold yourself down to the fact of I'm going to stay right here and here only, then you can get carried away and you can hurt your engine. Like I said, nitrous don't hurt engines, people hurt engines. So follow the rules and you're fine. Don't listen to your buddy if you're at the racetrack and Joe Blow keeps beating you by like half a car or whatever, and your buddy's like, man, your truck runs or your car runs so good on 150 shot, 50 more won't be a problem, man. Just let's do 200 and we'll beat that guy. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I've seen many times where people, they'll go to a 200 on a stock engine and it works fine. A handful of times. If you're relying on this car to be a daily driver or get you to and from, don't do it. Don't listen to anybody. Be safe, follow the rules, stay within the limitations of your stock engine, and you will be fine. You can run bottle after bottle after bottle at 100 shot, 150 shot if you follow the rules, and you'll never have a problem. Don't get cocky and be that guy that blows his engine up and gives it a bad rap and blame the nitrous because you decided you wanted to up it more than your engine can take because you wanted to try to beat this guy or run a faster time. Don't do it. If you want to run the bigger numbers, build the motor to hold the power. Alright? It's that simple, guys. Follow the rules and you'll have tons of fun. You'll be able to compete and not worry about it, and it's going to be reliable. Run after run. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'll try to answer them for you. But don't be afraid of nitrous. It works. It's awesome. And it's safe. Have fun.